Welcome back. Less than 30 points away, and we've been saying that since the start of the trading session itself. But let's see finally when do we hit that mark. Let's discuss all of that and more about the markets with Jay Bala. Of course, he's joining us from cashthechaos.com. Jay, is that what exactly you're looking to do, cashing this chaos?
That's right. The markets have been pretty belligerent on the upside for the last 1 month. So, a lot of the broad markets and has been outperforming than the frontline indices. So there are a lot of opportunities in the market.
So where do you think is it? Do you see more rally to this up move that we are seeing? Do you see 20,000 happening? That's just 20 points away actually. Do you see, let's say, 21,000 on the cards now? What about Bank Nifty? Which are the sectors you think are the best placed?
See, I had projected a level of 20,500 on the 26th of May, but I was expecting that to happen sometime around Diwali. So October, November, that was the time frame. But the markets have been faster and quicker than anticipated. So that is a positive and a negative. Positive because that shows a lot of bullishness, but negative because the markets are overstretched and overdoing it, and it breeds a lot of excess optimism. So that's the reason why it's a negative. But the banking index is slightly different. I look at the markets from a long-term technical perspective. A lot of technical resistance for the banking index come in at about 47,000, starting from the 2005 levels of for the banking index. That resistance line, what I'm talking about, has been putting brakes on the banking rally in 2008, 2018, 19, 20, and that's going to get hit sometime around 2023 around the 47,000 mark. So there is a little bit of caution required in the banking index. But, at the moment, we got to assess what the character of the next pullback is going to be. That's going to be absolutely crucial. If it's going to be shallow, then it's very bullish. If it's not shallow, then we're going to reassess the whole market.
Okay, so watching out for that pullback, whether it's a shallow or a deep one, because that will define the next leg of the rally. But Jay Bala, if I had to ask you about the best tactical or positional trade right now, what would that be?
See, the strongest have been the autos and FMCG and the capital goods name. At the moment, FMCG is still firing on all cylinders, but there is some slowdown in capital goods and autos. It's just a slowdown, not a reversal. So the best place to be you should be looking at these three sectors and pick laggards which are breaking out at the moment. So if you look at something like G Power India, GPIL, that's been a laggard within the capital goods space, and it's trying to break out. So a stock like that might make more sense. And focus on the broad markets where there are no leverages. So something like Saregama, which is on the small mid cap side, but it's not got derivatives leverage. So that kind of focus should be what you should be looking at the moment.
So the broader market themes, small cap names like Saregama, etc., which are not leverage plays, but within the large caps itself, just wanted your view about, let's say Reliance, ITC, as well as Kotak Mahindra Bank, because these are fairly charged up today.
Yeah, Reliance, because of the demerger, we need a little bit of time for it to, complete its move and see what's happening. But, it's come exactly off the all-time high. It's just 15 paise just below the all-time high, and it's pulling back. So that is need to be let aside for the moment. ITC, it's still momentum is completely strong, very strong. Like I said before, the FMCG space is the strongest. So, as long as ITC holds 460, 440, I think that uptrend should still continue. But when it comes to Kotak Mahindra, that's been a little bit of a laggard, and it's not in such a great place. But the fact that it's come up above 1920, that's a short-term positive for it. But I expect the stock to not proceed much higher, face stiff resistance around the 2020 mark.
Okay, so that's the take coming in. Just hold that thought, Jay. We are less than 15 points away. In fact, now 13 points away from that 20,000 mark. So you don't want to miss this. But I also want to bring in other panel of guests as well. Of course, Naresh Mirani, Kunal Bothra, as well as Vineet Bulanchkar are there with us on the show. Naresh, your sense as far as the market is concerned right now, what would be your trade? Would you still look at buying this at around 19,986 for the Nifty?
Would still be a hold rather than a buy because we are at overbought zones on the index. It's just that the constituents are not overbought. We are seeing Reliance Industries on an adjusted basis has hit a new all-time high. We are seeing that is just 1% higher than maybe the all-time highs. ICICI Bank, SBI, everything is just closer to all-time highs. So the index is overbought, but the constituents are not. So time to just ride on to the moves.
Coming in 18 points away from that all-time high level. Kunal, your best trades?
From a BTST perspective or?
From any perspective, what is the best trade if you had to take something?
Hold longs. I mean, still
at Nifty Bank, which indices, which stocks?
Whatever,
just buy something.
You have to be long. You can't be staying out. So I've seen so many people actually staying out, waiting for some dip, some correction to buy the stocks. I mean, and that's not happened in this kind of a bull market. And I think one of the classical features of this bull market, which I would probably categorize, is that a classical the health of your portfolio matters significantly because it's not that all sectors have participated full throttle at every leg of the bull market. So if your portfolio is well diversified enough, you would have probably gained substantially right from the start of this bull market till right now, and even in every phase of the bull market, whether it's autos, the infra stocks doing pretty well, pharma, FMCG, banking, private sector, PSU banking stocks, etc. So I think it's a great mix of portfolio which could probably have done or outperformed rather than a skewed portfolio towards one sector.
Jai Bala, I think the message from Kunal here in the studio is pretty long. Go long on anything and everything. What's your long list looking like?
No, I've had all my long list, something like, I've been focusing on the mid cap and the small cap space, something like Electric, which I picked up a few weeks ago. It's ran up 35-40%. So, I would say this bullish, but I won't say, you should be long on everything. But definitely, you got to pick up, look at sector rotations and stock rotations. Look at laggards because that's what bull market does. It picks up the laggards and tries to, equal the performance and level the field. So now, what has been a laggard? Keep looking at that, and allocation should be sensible here. The markets are very stretched, and the optimism is running high. So that's the only negative for the market.
The optimism is definitely running high. Street doesn't want to take into notice any negatives right now. Jay, we'll let you go on that note. Thank you so much for joining us today.